Chini Agumake. I got the last name right. I'm not sure if I got the first name right, but she's some sort of former basketball player. Her sister plays in the WNBA. She's a broadcaster, I believe, for ESPN. She's someone that, like a lot of, I'm sorry, say that again? She's like a lot of, Chene Agumake. She's like a lot of people. She's got the wrong narrative on this Angel Reese, Indiana Fever fans, but it speaks to a much larger point about we've turned sports media over to athletes, and so journalism has been removed, reality has been removed. It's just an opportunity for people to emote their feelings and their victimhood, blah, blah, whatever. And so I want to play you these clips of Chene Agumake back to back. They're both short. The first one is her, and then the second one is reality. And it just, to me, it illustrates my point that they've turned the media over to the big dumb jocks that everyone, and I used to be a big dumb jock, so I don't want anyone to think I'm distancing myself. I used to be a big dumb jock, but I shouldn't have been, when I was a big dumb jock, in charge of the media. Anyway, let's play the clips back to back.
Now, players and coaches of the Chicago Sky have said that they heard things that were out of bounds coming from the fans in Indiana during the game. And that caused the WNBA to launch an investigation into the matter. Now,
Coach, when did you become aware that there was hate speech that happened?
I think when everyone else did. I think that, you know, it's something that, you know, we heard about. And so, you know, again, we're just forthcoming with anything that the league is able to do investigation.
So Chene is arguing that the players heard it and the coaches heard it, and the coaches saying, no, we found out when everyone else did after the game when we were told about it. You just don't need facts here. You just need to emote and drive a narrative. Your thoughts?
I believe old Chene needs to go to the White House and have Donald Trump bring out a big projector screen, maybe the Hachitachi 2000. You know, I mean, seriously, look, you say that these are dumb jocks. I don't think that's the issue. Jocks have never been Mensa members, but you know what they were in the past? And this is a double negative alert, not dishonest. They are absolutely dishonest. They know what they're doing. They know the agenda that they are pushing. I'm going to say something I've said many times on this show. One of the big issues with the WNBA is the whole culture that surrounds it and gatekeeps for it. We're talking about some of the fans, many members of the media, former players, current players, the coaches, and the management that continually wag the finger at a certain demographic, a large part of the demographic of America, and are so based in this non-reality that exists. Chene knows what she is doing, and that what she is doing is staying on code.
You say they were not dishonest.
Oh,
were they in position? I'm talking about previously. Were they in position? Were they all over the media the way they are now? Obviously, there was no internet. There was no podcasting. But they're all over ESPN, and they're like the leaders of the media now rather than occasional participants.
Let's be honest. Politics and sports have always intersected to a certain degree. I don't think they've intersected to this degree of, let's say, the last 10 years, right? And back in the days of Dandy Don Meredith, they were just there to talk ball and to talk shop, be funny, analyze a game, do the X and O's. Now, when it comes to certain networks, and especially with this league, right, there is I don't know if it's an external or internal pressure, but there's a stated agenda that you have to stay, really, as I said, on code, you have to stay on script. And it's really the non-traditional new media that has the license to basically be as honest as they want to be or can be. So, again, Chene knows the truth. I think she knows in her own mind that if she states the truth, then she's going to get the backlash. So I think some of it is the fact she doesn't want all the social media blowback, but also she might actually want to push this agenda because of her own personal beliefs.
Yes. She certainly wants to push an agenda. She certainly wants to remain in the good graces of social media. She certainly wants to remain in the good graces of the WNBA. Her sister plays there. And she certainly wants to stay in the good graces of Disney. What has frustrated me, or what has baffled me, is just like that ESPN's standards have been so reduced that no one has to adhere to any facts or evidence. This entire conversation about Indiana Patriot fans and racial taunts, there's no proof of it. None. But they're acting like there is evidence of it. And it seems like someone should be able to say, like, hey guys, we don't even know if this happened. And it certainly didn't impact Angel Reese or any of the players during the game.
Well, let me circle back to Donald Trump and going back to the meeting he had with that African leader. He pulls out evidence, clearly on tape, of people chanting, and this is the old Eddie Murphy skit from Saturday Night Live, kill the white man, right? Okay, so it's clear as day to everybody. And yet certain networks are bringing on panelists saying, well, I don't know. I think a lot of this reports of the genocide are unfounded. There's no real proof. Meanwhile, there's proof all over the place. This here is just the opposite. Literally, there's no real evidence that people were racially taunting Angel Reese or any of those other players. The coaches for that team are actually saying, well, we didn't really know about it. What are you talking about? But look, people like Chiney are actually actively pushing this agenda. And I do say agenda because that's exactly what it is.
Steve, let me I want to read you this statement from Sophie Cunningham, actually. I want to switch up topics. Sophie Cunningham has been accused in some lawsuit of sleeping with the CEO, president of the Phoenix Mercury and the Phoenix Sun. I believe his last name is Bartlestein. This came out in news stories, and because of this lawsuit, Sophie Cunningham, a member now of the Indiana Fever, she's pictured here on our Sports Wall of Fame here. She's one of my favorites. I think one of the most impressive athletes, I think, of the last 30, 40, 50 years in my estimation.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's really up for debate. But anyway, here's her statement. Here's the statement she put out. I am deeply saddened by the recent false accusations made against me by Gene Traylor, someone I do not know and have never met. Let me be clear, his statements are untrue and extremely hurtful. I am here to compete, play basketball at the highest level, and win for my team and my fans while inspiring other women that they can do or be anything they ever dream of becoming. I hold myself to the highest integrity, and my values are what guide me on and off the court. To the media who reported on this, I have always spoken the truth and been transparent with any press inquiry. In this instance, it feels irresponsible that I was never asked for a comment about the accusation before several clickbait stories went to print. I will not let untrue gossip take my focus away from what is most important to me, which is basketball, my supportive team, and my fans. Steve, that's a very moving, heartfelt letter I totally agree with Sophie Cunningham. Your reaction?
You know what? You make RG3 look like one of those South Africans displacing those poor farmers. My God, Simplock.